and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have here another pen for review, and this pen was loaned to me from John at stjohnspens.com. So I'd like to thank John for the loan of this pen for review. This pen will be returned to John. As you can see here, it says ASC, Armando Simone Club. So I think let's take a look at this. We'll unbox this pen. So lifting the lid, you get another box inside. And if I remove that from the outer box, you will see the inner box. And again, ASC, Armando Simone Club, and it does have this sort of herringbone sort of colouring on that box there. Now these are magnetic clasp boxes, so you'll see there that that does snap shut. Now if I unbox this here, you'll see the Armando Simone Club wording here, no compromise. Our pens are 100% made in Italy. You'll see the pen floating in a bed. If I just remove the pen for the moment, you'll see Armando Simone Club. And again, this is what they put in every box. It's a little shelf. You then have this booklet as well. So let me bring out the booklet, and you'll see here that it shows a number of their pens. And you can see here, limited edition, this is the Arco Verde. And you'll see some other pens like the Arco Wild as well. You also get a dear customer, little bit about the pen in terms of how it's made, and it's made of celluloid, and also a warranty card. So let me put all of this back into place, and then I'll remove the pen from this sort of display here. And then I will show you the pen in all its glory. So this is the pen. Now this is an Armando Simone Club, and this is a Bologna Medio. So it's not a large Bologna, the Bologna Extra. And I'm just seeing if I can try and get one here, and I'll show you the size difference. The Bologna Extra is actually quite long. The Bologna Medio is actually about the same size as the original Bolognas that came from Omas. Now, this is a little bit thinner than the Extra. Now, you do have the ASC logo there, and it says ASC Armando Simone Club. Now, you have the Italian-style rocker clip and also a Greek keyband here as well. Now, this is made in the blue saffron material. And you'll see here, in terms of the pen, it tapers in slightly towards the cap finial here. It then tapers out to where is the cap band. Now there is another ring here which is on the cap band. A slight step down, and then the body tapers in to this band here. And then you have the filling mechanism or piston here, or end cap is what it normally would be called. Now if I unscrew the cap here, you'll see that it has an 18 karat gold ASC nib. These are made by Bock, and this is a 14 karat gold nib, not an 18 karat gold. Now it does have that ebonite feed that you can see there, so it's got a very low profile feed. You do have, although the threads are built into this celluloid, it's not plastic, it is celluloid. You do have these metal rings here with a slight step up to the body. Now, I said that this isn't a piston filling pen, and I'll show you why. Because this is actually, if I unscrew it, a different filling mechanism here. So technically it is, I would say, more of a converter. So you can see, if I try and bring this up, you'll see that converter there. It is, I know a lot of people call a converter a piston. There you go, you can see it a little bit better there. But it is really a captured converter, I would say. You cannot unscrew this. It's not really what I would class as a full piston. However, I think that's maybe what ASC call it. I do like this engraving here on that sort of converter or piston, depending on what you want to call it. And it has got some interesting engravings there for sure. Now, you'll see inside of this body, it does have metal threads. So metal threads go onto the metal threads here on that converter, and it just screws in. So it's not a piston filling, and you can't unscrew the back end there. In terms of size in my hand, this is a good size. I do like this a lot. In terms of can I post the cap, it does post very securely and very deeply. But it does also make the pen a little bit on the long side. I do find that posting caps do make them a little bit, the pen a little bit more heavier. Now, I do find that this cap, although it's quite light, is a little bit more back weighted. There is a screw in there holding on this cap finial as well, and obviously that's metal as well. So there is a slight back weightedness, I would say, to this pen. But in terms of in the size of my hand, I'd say that this is actually really quite nice. Now, this is the original blue Saffron celluloid that Omas used to have and used to make out of pens before they closed their doors. It is a beautiful, beautiful celluloid, and I do like that celluloid a lot. But I've seen this in a lot of pens. I've seen this in Omas's. I've seen it in other Armando Simone Club pens as well. And I think I've seen it in some other manufacturer pens. So certainly custom pens, I've seen this material in. The blue saffron is quite a material, celluloid material that is quite popular. I do like the size, and I do like the weight of this pen, and it does actually feel really nice in my hand, and it does feel quite substantial. So I think with that, let's go and do a size check. We'll do a weight check, we'll do a pen comparison, and we'll do a writing sample. So the full length of the pen, we are looking at about 140 millimeters in length. The length of the cap, we are looking, goes to that gold band, the second gold band. So we're looking at 63 millimeters in length. So the cap itself is quite long. And then the length of the body, if I can stop the pen rolling away, to the tip of the nib, we are looking at about 130 millimeters in length. So I'd say that that's just almost bordering on an oversized pen. Normally around 130, 132 millimeters is what I would say would be an oversized pen. I think let's do a weight check. Now this is uninked at the moment, so the full weight of this pen is just over 46 grams. So 46 grams is actually quite a weighty pen. It's not the heaviest pen. I've tried pens at 93 grams, but it's still quite weighty compared to a lot of plastic or resin pens. The weight of the cap, we're looking at just over 11.5 grams. And then the weight of the body uninked, we're looking at just under 34 grams. So obviously that metal converter or piston, depending on what you want to call it, is actually quite adding a little bit more weight to that pen. It does make the pen feel a lot more substantial, I have to agree. And it does make the pen feel a lot more solid as well. More weightier, solid, substantial, well made, I think is the terms that come to mind when you're talking about a more weightier pen. But I do love this blue saffron material. It's a material that has been popular with Omas in the past. It's a lot of different sort of browns and blues and whites, and it's just a nice material. So I think with that, let's do a comparison with other pens. So from left to right, we have an Armando Simone Club Bologna Extra, and this is in the wild. We have a Armando Simone Club Bologna Extra, and this is in the Arco Brown or Bronze. We have an Armando Simone Club Bologna Extra in the Arco Verde. We have a Montegrappa Extra 1930 Shiny Lines Dove, a Montegrappa Bartolomeo Ferracina. We have the Armando Simone Club Bologna Medio in the blue saffron, a Scribo Fill in the Verde Prato, a Sailor King of Pen in the Sakura Nagar, a Sailor King of Pen Pro Gear in the Lucky Charm, and a Tatcha Miyabi's Winter's Breath. But you can really see the difference here between the Bologna Extra here and the Medio. It's quite a size difference. So I think with that, let's do a writing sample. So let's do a writing sample. So this is the Armando Simone Club. And it's the Bologna Medio. And it's in the blue Saffron. And I'd say it's a medium. It's a 14 karat gold nib. And then the ink in here today is actually a London pen show exclusive, and it's called Beefeater Red. Now, in terms of line variation, I would say that you are getting about a medium line. You can push this and get a little bit more towards a broad line. And you can see that here. It's this 14 karat gold nib is actually quite springy. And you can see there are no hard starts or skips on those lines, which I really like because that shows that a nib is tuned really well. Now, in terms of ink wetness, let's take a look. Now, I typically find that ASC nibs are quite wet, and you can see that that in itself is very, very wet. So, what do I like and what do I not like about this pen? Well, honestly, I'd have to say I like the Omas Blue Saffron material. I do like that a lot. I do find that the Omas celluloid materials are some of the most beautiful celluloid materials on this earth. So I do like that a lot. I do like it that it's an ASC, and I have to say I do like it that it is a cartridge converter or a captured converter or a piston, depending on how you look at this. It's not a cartridge converter, I would say, because you cannot remove that sort of piston or the captured converter. But I do like that because I have had issues with some of the sacks perishing in Armando Simone Club Bologna pens in the past. So I do like that they're kind of going back to really the more modern style, either cartridge converters or captured converters or pistons. That to me speaks volume, and I do like that a lot. Is there anything I dislike about this pen? Not really. It is a smaller pen. It is a Medio size pen. I guess for me personally, I prefer a larger pen. So I obviously prefer the Bologna Extra. So I'm not as keen on the Bologna Medio because of the size of the pen. But there's nothing wrong with the pen that I can find. This is a very nice pen. I'd like to thank John from St John's Pens for loaning me this pen for review. If you want to check out John, go check him out at stjohnspens.com or St John's Pens on Instagram. Again, I'd like to thank John for loaning me this pen for review. This pen is going back to John. So that's my review of the Armando Simone Club Bologna Medio in the blue saffron. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye-bye.